So from the beginning, he was good because I was a little bit way too serious, but he's the one who taught me to lighten up, lighten up. Lighten up, he'd roll, lighten up. So, and he would press me until I had to laugh. So it worked. It worked. He changed me forever.
My name is Brian, and I had the privilege of being Richard's sponsor in AA, and I've known him over 10 years. He always had a big heart, and he loved his children so much. And he also loved God, and he walked in faith.
I'm John, and I'm a friend of Richard's as well. Last time I saw him was 2 or 3 days before he passed, and he was happier than I'd ever seen. He was thrilled to death to be a part of this movement. I know that. He seemed to be at peace with his God and with himself for the first time. And and I've known him for 5 years. And, his smile was infectious, and to see him happy was a wonderful thing. It was, the first time I could really actually sense the peace in himself that he felt like he was a part of, and it was a wonderful thing. Thank you.
I only had the pleasure of knowing him for a few months. Those few months I remember his compassion, his heart. He could smile, make people smile. And not only that, we shared the same name, so he was a great person.
I knew when you were young, when you said, only love can break your heart. Yeah, my heart is broken.
I think it really takes a spell. I didn't know Richard that well, but I think all the people here are very special. It takes a special person to sacrifice their time, their money, their energy, to do something, help, selfless for other people. And I think he's really looking down and smiling, and he's happy that we're still persevering and that we keep going. And thank God for the things he did. His life was just too short, that's all. I'm sure he wanted to do a lot more, but he's up there being a guardian angel. So, we salute you.
He's probably making them laugh too.
Yeah. And I wish I would have known him better. He was whipped.
When Richard got back from Washington, he came over to help me. His wife and children lived real close to my house, and they'd come over and use the pool and stuff. And, he got back from Washington, and he was standing tall, and he was feeling good, and he told me the most minute details of everything that happened on that trip. From the interior of the hotel room to what the seats were made of in the bus and all. He was just so happy. He felt useful and whole.
Richard and I, we discuss spiritual matters because I'm an atheist. Been an atheist most of my life, or very least at times an agnostic. But yet we were able to talk about that sort of thing, and he was the one that brought that up too. Interesting man. I wish I'd have got to know him better, had more time to talk to him. But like something I reiterate over and over again about the movement, whether it been the anti-war movement before Occupy or Occupy itself, being in any kind of human rights struggle, has elevated my existence because of the quality of the people that I meet at these things, you know. Just like the fellowship has elevated the class of people, or not class, you know what I mean, it's the quality of people that I associated with, then it launched me to be able to do this as well, you know. It gave me the freedom to express myself politically and take a stand for the people that I belong to.
Like John said, he was a very open person, wore his heart on his sleeve, couldn't ever say no to anyone or anything, and just had a heart so big it could swallow the world. He had his share of tribulation, as we all do, but he took it in stride, and just in the face of utter devastation, he still had that optimism and that sparkle in his eye. It never dimmed. I think everyone and anyone who touched him and helped him. His wife told me the other day, whenever he was home, she would get irritated because all he talked about was Occupy. and even his little ones, they probably know more about the Occupy movement than I do.
Oh yeah.
His children are beautiful, and he loved them more than anything in the world. And you could see how much they loved him when they'd come to the camp and scamper about. Like Garrison said, he imprinted everyone that he came in contact with. It was impossible to not be changed by Richard Starr. I can only aspire to touch the lives like he did. And regardless of what your religious beliefs or lack thereof, the tribulations he suffered are now over. Free from pain and anxiety and the physical trappings of a body. And that is what comforts me to know that he's now in a form that fits his spirit and fits his soul, and that's freedom. He was an amazing person, and no one will be able to do what he did for us.
And one last piece to add, but because of something you said. Gone? He ain't gone. There's a piece of him in every single one of us. He is still here, doing his thing.
And we can only work as hard as he would have wanted us to, make the splash that he wanted, and be the soul. He used to say, we're the soldiers of the new era.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.